Mechanisms of membrane transport. In cellular biology, the membrane transport refers to the collection of mechanisms that regulate the passage of solids such as ions and small molecules through biological membranes. There are four major mechanisms, that is passive transport, active transport, gradient mediated transport, and vesicular transport. Passive transport is spontaneous, energy independent downhill flow of substance in a concentration gradient or an electrochemical gradient. It involves three processes, that is osmosis, passive diffusion, facilitated diffusion. Osmosis is the net movement of water and other solvent molecules from a less concentrated to a more concentrated solution through a semi-permeable membrane. In plants, osmosis is significant. In the absorption of soil and water, and in animals, it is important in the intestinal and renal reabsorption of water. Passive diffusion is spontaneous flow of low molecular weight metabolites in a concentration gradient without energy utilization. It is very low, slow, much limited, less selective, and non-stereospecific. Flow of water, water-soluble molecules, and invalid lipophilic molecules. It is the examples. Simple diffusion take place by four probable methods. The one, direct and rapid diffusion through the lipid bilayer, diffusion by protein channels, and diffusion through protein channels formed by clustered protein molecules, and 4. Diffusion through non-protein statistical pores, which are non-stable and temporary gaps. The third one is facilitated diffusion. It is the membrane transport of metabolites in a concentration gradient with the help of a mobile carrier called permease or translocate without energy utilization. The transport of exhaust sugars, fat, soluble vitamins, steroid hormones are example. The differentiation between simple diffusion and facilitated diffusion is it is stereospecific. It involves the operation of carrier protein, shows saturation kinetics and faster than simple diffusion, and it is rate limited. Next one is active transport. It is an energy dependent carrier mediated uphill flow of metabolites against concentration of electrochemical gradients or osmotic forces. Its energy source is ATP. It അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ions which exhibits an electrochemical potential. Active transport, three main kinds ഉണ്ട്: uniport, symport and antiport. Uniport is unidirectional transport of only one kind of molecules at a time, and symport simultaneous unidirectional transport of different kinds of molecules. Antiport എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ simultaneous transport of different kinds of molecules in a opposite direction. Active transportന് 3 stages ഉണ്ട്. മെക്കാനിസംസ് ഓഫ് ആക്റ്റീവ് ട്രാൻസ്പോർട്ട് രണ്ട് ഡിഫറെൻറ്റ് മെക്കാനിസംസ് ആണുള്ളത്. ഒന്ന് റൊട്ടേറ്റിംഗ് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ റിവോൾവിംഗ് കാരിയർ സ്കീമും, രണ്ട് പ്രോട്ടീൻ അഗ്രിഗേറ്റ് റീഅറേഞ്ച്മെൻറ്റ് സ്കീം. ലാസ്റ്റ് വൺ ഈസ് വെസിക്കുലർ ട്രാൻസ്പോർട്ട്. This is the bulk transport of large molecules and particles across the membrane. അത് 3 kinds ഉണ്ട്: exocytosis, endocytosis and receptor mediated endocytosis. Exocytosis is the expulsion of cellular waste and the export of some secretion product in large bulk from the cell to the extracellular medium. ഇത് സെക്രട്ടറി സെൽസിലാണ് കാണുന്നത്. എൻഡോസൈറ്റോസിസ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് taking of large amount of useful substance into the cell from the extracellular medium. അത് 3 main kinds ഉണ്ട്: ഫാഗോസൈറ്റോസിസ്, പൈനോസൈറ്റോസിസ് ആൻഡ് മൈക്രോപൈനോസൈറ്റോസിസ്. ഫാഗോസൈറ്റോസിസ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ബൾക്ക് ഇൻടേക്ക് ഓഫ് ലാർജ് സൈസ്ഡ് സോളിഡ് സബ്സ്റ്റൻസ്. അതിന് 3 മേജർ സ്റ്റെപ്സ് ഉണ്ട്: സർഫസ് റെക്കഗ്നേഷൻ ആൻഡ് ബൈൻഡിങ്, മെംബ്രെയിൻ ഇൻവാജിനേഷൻ, വെസിക്കിൾ ഫോർമേഷൻ. പൈനോസൈറ്റോസിസ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് intake of liquid and fluid substance and very minute particles. Micropinocytosisle transcellular transport of fluid substance bypassing intracellular components. And receptor mediated endocytosis. It is a process by which cells absorb metabolites, hormones, proteins, and in some cases of viruses by the inward budding of the plasma membrane. Thank you all.